Characters. While we might get caught up in abstract themes and concepts and pretty colors when thinking about analyzing and writing, at the end of the day, characters are the main part of a story. We want to like the characters, or we want to at least like the protagonist. We want to see some development in characters, so it's not just the same thing throughout the whole piece without any progression. So when we say static characters, that's a character that's just flat. Nothing is happening, and we don't have any interesting things to look forward to. So what makes a good character? Let's have a look. The best characters are going to be believable. So human beings aren't one thing. They aren't one-sided. They don't like just one thing or dislike one thing. So they've got lots of different emotions. Lots of different things have happened to them in their past. They've got lots of relationships with different people. So keep that in mind when creating your characters. And so they're going to have a few different dimensions. It's beyond just the surface. They may appear simple on the surface to begin with, but they're going to gain complexity and depth as you reveal more about them, as you show their history, their connections to things, their interests, and things like that. It's about the way they act and the way that they speak. That's going to get across their personality. And don't bog down in physical description. Don't just be really blatant with the way that you describe characters. So they've got brown hair and they are average height and they've got blue eyes and that kind of thing. Outlining those things in a really outright kind of way is not creative. And it also doesn't tell us a great deal about that person. We want to look beyond the cover, so don't judge a book by its cover is the saying. We want to know what their values are, what their history is, the action that they're doing, and things like that. So to build your own story characters or good characters, you need to answer 3 questions. What do they want? What are they willing to do to get what they want? And how do they plan on getting it? And if it's something that they really, really want and they're willing to commit a crime to do it or to get it, then that is going to reveal things about that character. That adds a new dimension to them and makes it interesting. So yeah, you can tell a lot about a person based on what they really want. So maybe they want world peace, they want something really huge like that. Perhaps all they want is a sandwich. So if we think about Hamlet as an example, what he wants more than anything is to get revenge for the death of his father and to restore order to the kingdom of Denmark. If you want world peace, you might be content to just post about it on your Instagram story, on social media. If you want a Vegemite sandwich, you might be willing to murder for it. So you can see the difference between those different examples. Depending on what you want and how much you want to get it and what you'll do to get it, can really set up your story and set it apart from other angles that you could be taking. In Hamlet's case, he was willing to kill people and himself as well to ensure justice is restored. And he also repeatedly reminds the audience of this too. So sometimes motives and willingness isn't enough, and ultimately actions are speaking the loudest. It's about what you actually decide to do. There are plenty of things that we would love to have, would love to do, but we wouldn't actually be willing to go through with what is required in order to get that. So the actions are therefore speaking the loudest. In terms of Hamlet, he's crippled by self-doubt, fear, and procrastination, and ultimately he does a horrible job of restoring order and finding revenge for his father. So while he had that motivation and that willingness, he didn't really go through with it. And so these are the three things that you should be thinking about when it comes to your characters.